What if the most powerful disease-fighting compounds available to you were not in a supplement bottle, not behind a pharmacy counter, not in an expensive health product with a long list of ingredients you cannot pronounce? What if they were sitting in the produce section of your local grocery store, available to anyone, at a cost of a few dollars a week? Here is what decades of research in nutritional science, oncology, and cardiovascular medicine have consistently found. Certain vegetables, ordinary, accessible, affordable vegetables, contain naturally occurring compounds that interact with human cells in ways that research associates with reduced disease risk, lower inflammation, better immune function, and improved long-term health outcomes. Not in vague, general ways. At the cellular level, influencing gene expression, DNA protection, cellular repair processes, and the biological mechanisms that underlie the development of chronic disease. Today we are going through 5 of the most research-supported vegetables in nutritional science, what they contain, what the research shows those compounds do inside the body, and exactly how to eat them for maximum benefit. Stay with me through the entire video, because vegetable number 3 contains a compound so extensively studied that entire research institutions have been dedicated to understanding it. Before we go through the 5 vegetables, a brief explanation of what we mean when we say vegetables fight disease at the cellular level. Because this phrase is worth understanding, not just repeating. Every chronic disease, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, arthritis, has specific biological processes happening at the cellular level that drive its development and progression. Most of these processes involve some combination of chronic inflammation, persistent activation of inflammatory pathways that damage tissues over time, oxidative stress, and imbalance between cell-damaging free radicals and the body's antioxidant defenses, DNA damage, mutations and errors in genetic material that accumulate over time and can initiate cancer development, cellular senescence, the accumulation of dysfunctional cells that promote inflammation and accelerate aging, immune dysregulation, the immune system becoming less effective at identifying and eliminating damaged or abnormal cells. The compounds found in specific vegetables, phytochemicals, antioxidants, organosulfur compounds, carotenoids, glucosinolates, have been studied for their ability to directly influence these cellular processes, not as drugs that force a single outcome, but as complex biological signals that interact with cellular pathways in ways that support the body's own protective and repair mechanisms. This is the science behind why specific vegetables appear so consistently in disease prevention research, and why the 5 we are covering today have attracted more scientific attention than almost any other food studied. Which of these 5 vegetables do you already eat regularly? Drop your answer in the comments. We read every one. The first vegetable is broccoli, and the compound that has made it the subject of extensive scientific research is called sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is produced in broccoli through a specific chemical reaction. When broccoli cells are damaged, through chewing, cutting, or chopping, an enzyme called myrosinase is released from those cells. This enzyme reacts with a compound called glucoraphanin, also stored in broccoli cells, to produce sulforaphane. Sulforaphane has attracted extraordinary scientific interest because of its ability to activate a specific cellular pathway called the NRF2 pathway. The NRF2 pathway is sometimes called the body's master antioxidant switch. When activated, it triggers the production of hundreds of protective enzymes and antioxidant compounds throughout the body. It supports the body's own cellular detoxification processes. It reduces inflammatory signaling. It helps protect DNA from oxidative damage. And research has found that sulforaphane may also promote what scientists call apoptosis in certain types of abnormal cells, the programmed self-destruction mechanism that the body uses to eliminate damaged or potentially cancerous cells. Research on sulforaphane spans laboratory studies, animal research, and human clinical trials. Laboratory and preliminary human studies have found associations between sulforaphane and reduced markers of oxidative stress and inflammation, with several research groups actively investigating its potential role in cancer risk reduction, cardiovascular protection, and neurological health. It is important to be clear. This research is promising but not yet conclusive enough to make definitive clinical recommendations. What can be said with confidence? Broccoli, and other cruciferous vegetables appear consistently in population studies as foods associated with reduced risk of certain chronic diseases. And sulforaphane is the compound most researchers believe is primarily responsible for those associations. How to eat broccoli for maximum sulforaphane. Chop or crush broccoli and let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes before cooking. This resting period allows the myrosinase enzyme reaction to complete, producing more sulforaphane before heat deactivates the enzyme. Eat some broccoli raw or lightly steamed. High heat destroys myrosinase, reducing sulforaphane production significantly. Light steaming, 3 to 4 minutes, preserves more of the benefit than boiling or roasting at high heat. Adding a small amount of mustard seed, which contains its own myrosinase, to cook broccoli can partially restore sulforaphane production even after cooking. 3 to 5 servings of broccoli or other cruciferous vegetables weekly is the amount most consistently referenced in disease prevention research. The second vegetable is spinach, and what makes spinach remarkable from a research perspective is not one single compound, but an extraordinary concentration of multiple protective nutrients working through different pathways simultaneously. Let's go through the most significant ones. Lutein and zeaxanthin, these carotenoid compounds, concentrated in spinach, have been extensively studied for their protective effects on eye health, specifically their association with reduced risk of age-related macular degeneration and cataracts, two of the most common causes of vision loss in seniors. But their role extends beyond eye health. Lutein has been studied for its anti-inflammatory effects in arterial walls, with research finding associations between lutein intake and reduced markers of arterial inflammation, a direct link to cardiovascular health. Folate spinach is one of the richest dietary sources of folate, a B vitamin that plays a critical role in DNA synthesis and repair, the process through which cells replicate and maintain the integrity of their genetic material. Adequate folate intake is associated in research with reduced risk of certain DNA replication errors, which is one mechanism through which folate may contribute to cancer risk reduction. Dietary nitrates: we covered nitrates in the beetroot video, and spinach contains them in abundance. These nitrates convert to nitric oxide in the body, supporting blood vessel relaxation, improved circulation, and blood pressure moderation. Vitamin K and magnesium, both present in high concentrations and both associated with cardiovascular and bone health in extensive research literature. One practical note about spinach that changes how most people use it. A large bag of raw spinach wilts down to a very small amount when cooked. What looks like an overwhelming quantity raw becomes 2 or 3 tablespoons cooked. This means cooking spinach is one of the most efficient ways to consume a significant nutritional dose in a small volume of food. How to eat more: blend into smoothies, where the flavor essentially disappears. Stir into soups, eggs, and sauces. Use as a salad base. Wilt into pasta dishes. Daily consumption of spinach, even in small amounts, is supported by the research. This is the vegetable that stops people when they hear about it, and it is directly connected to the broccoli we covered in Vegetable 1. The vegetable is broccoli sprouts, the young seedlings of the broccoli plant, harvested just 3 to 5 days after germination. Here is the fact that has generated enormous research interest. Broccoli sprouts contain 50 to 100 times more glucoraphanin, the precursor to sulforaphane, than mature broccoli. The same compound, in the same plant, but at concentrations 50 to 100 times higher in the young sprout than in the fully grown vegetable. This means a small amount of broccoli sprouts, roughly 1 to 2 tablespoons, delivers a sulforaphane potential equivalent to a large serving of mature broccoli. This discovery emerged from research at a major American university in the 1990s, and it has since generated a significant body of follow-up research examining broccoli sprouts specifically for disease prevention applications. Clinical studies have examined broccoli sprout consumption in the context of markers of oxidative stress and inflammation in the body, detoxification enzyme activity, measuring how effectively the body processes and eliminates potentially harmful compounds. Several human trials have found measurable increases in antioxidant and detoxification markers following regular broccoli sprout consumption, with effects appearing within days of beginning regular intake. Because sulforaphane production depends on the myrosinase enzyme reaction, cooking broccoli sprouts significantly reduces their benefit. They are most effectively consumed raw, added to salads, sandwiches, smoothies, or as a garnish on any cooked dish. How to access them? Broccoli sprouts are available in many health food stores and some mainstream supermarkets. They can also be grown at home in a simple sprouting jar, requiring only broccoli seeds, water, and 3 to 5 days. This is one of the most cost-effective and nutritionally dense foods available anywhere, at a fraction of the cost of most supplements containing far less research support. The fourth vegetable is one that most people walk past in the produce section without giving much thought to. It is inexpensive. It lasts for weeks in the refrigerator. It requires almost no preparation, and it contains a concentration of specific disease-fighting compounds that its humble appearance completely belies. The vegetable is red cabbage, and the compounds that make it so research-worthy are called anthocyanins, the pigments responsible for its deep purple-red color. Anthocyanins are a subgroup of flavonoids, plant compounds that have been studied extensively for their effects on multiple cellular disease pathways. Anti-inflammatory activity. Anthocyanins have been shown in multiple studies to inhibit several key inflammatory pathways, including the NF-κB pathway, one of the most important master regulators of inflammation in the human body. Chronic activation of NF-κB is associated with the development and progression of multiple chronic diseases, including certain cancers, cardiovascular disease, and inflammatory conditions. Antioxidant capacity. Red cabbage has one of the highest measured antioxidant capacities of any common vegetable, significantly higher than green cabbage, which contains far fewer anthocyanins. Its antioxidant compounds help neutralize free radicals, reducing the oxidative stress that drives cellular aging and DNA damage. Gut microbiome support. Red cabbage, particularly when fermented as sauerkraut or kimchi, is a source of prebiotic fiber that feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Research on the gut microbiome and systemic health has exploded in recent years, with findings consistently linking a healthy, diverse gut microbiome to reduced systemic inflammation, improved immune function, and better metabolic health. Population studies have found associations between higher cruciferous and anthocyanin-rich vegetable consumption and reduced risk of certain cancers, particularly colorectal cancer, one of the most common cancers in adults over 60. The mechanisms proposed include the anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and gut microbiome supporting effects we have just described. How to eat more. Raw red cabbage in coleslaw or salads. Lightly sautéed as a side dish. Fermented as sauerkraut for the additional probiotic benefit. Blended into smoothies in small amounts. Red cabbage keeps exceptionally well in the refrigerator, making it one of the most practical additions to a weekly shopping list. The fifth vegetable is one that many people already enjoy, but that most people do not fully appreciate for the depth of its nutritional and disease prevention research. The vegetable is sweet potato, and the primary compound that places it on this list is beta-carotene, the pigment responsible for its distinctive orange color. What beta-carotene does? Beta-carotene is a precursor to vitamin A, meaning the body converts it to vitamin A as needed. Vitamin A plays essential roles in immune function, specifically in the development and activation of immune cells responsible for identifying and destroying abnormal and infected cells. Research has found associations between adequate vitamin A status and more robust immune surveillance, the immune system's ability to detect and eliminate potentially cancerous cells before they can establish. Cellular differentiation. One of the key processes disrupted in cancer development is cellular differentiation, the process by which cells develop into specific, specialized cell types with defined functions. When differentiation is disrupted, cells can begin dividing in an uncontrolled way. Research has examined beta-carotene and vitamin A's role in supporting normal cellular differentiation, with findings suggesting a potential protective mechanism against certain types of abnormal cell development. Antioxidant activity. Beta-carotene is itself a powerful fat-soluble antioxidant, protecting cell membranes and fat-containing structures from oxidative damage. Sweet potato also contains anthocyanins in purple-fleshed varieties, the same disease-fighting pigments found in red cabbage. Chlorogenic acid, a polyphenol associated in research with anti-inflammatory and potential anti-cancer effects. Resistant starch, a fiber type that feeds beneficial gut bacteria and is associated with reduced colorectal cancer risk in research. An important and practical finding from nutritional research. Beta-carotene absorption from sweet potato is significantly enhanced when consumed with a small amount of fat. A teaspoon of olive oil, a small amount of butter, or any healthy fat source consumed with sweet potato increases the absorption of beta-carotene by a meaningful degree because beta-carotene is fat-soluble and requires dietary fat to be properly absorbed. How to eat more. Baked whole sweet potato as a side dish. Mashed with olive oil instead of butter. Roasted in cubes with herbs and olive oil. Added to soups and stews. As a base for curries and vegetable dishes. 2 to 3 servings weekly provides meaningful beta-carotene and the supporting compounds described above. 5 vegetables, each one backed by a substantial and growing body of scientific research, each one working through different cellular mechanisms, meaning they complement each other rather than overlap. A simple weekly framework. Broccoli, 3 times weekly, chopped and rested before light steaming. Spinach, daily, in whatever form works best for you. Broccoli sprouts, several times weekly, raw, in salads, or as a garnish. Red cabbage, twice weekly, raw or lightly cooked, with occasional fermented versions. Sweet potato, twice weekly, with a small amount of healthy fat to enhance absorption. None of this requires an overhaul of your entire diet. It requires adding specific, research-supported foods to a pattern you likely already follow, consistently, regularly, week after week. The cumulative effect of that consistency is what the disease prevention research actually measures and documents. Everything in this video is educational health information drawn from published nutritional and medical research. The vegetables discussed are associated in research with various health benefits, but no food cures, prevents, or treats any specific disease. If you have been diagnosed with cancer, heart disease, or any other serious health condition, please work with your qualified healthcare team for appropriate treatment. Dietary choices are one component of overall health and should complement, not replace, evidence-based medical care. 5 vegetables. Broccoli, and its sulforaphane activating the body's master antioxidant switch. Spinach, with its extraordinary concentration of multiple protective nutrients. Broccoli sprouts, with sulforaphane concentrations 50 to 100 times higher than the mature vegetable. Red cabbage, and its anthocyanins fighting inflammation at the cellular pathway level. Sweet potato, with beta-carotene supporting immune surveillance and cellular protection. All 5 accessible. All 5 affordable. All 5 backed by genuine research at the cellular and molecular level. The produce section of your grocery store contains some of the most studied and most powerful health-supporting compounds available anywhere. You do not need a prescription. You do not need a specialist referral. You do not need an expensive supplement protocol. You need a shopping cart and the knowledge of what to put in it. Now you have that knowledge. If this video gave you something genuinely useful today, please share it with someone whose health you care about. A family member, a friend, someone who is looking for practical, research-based ways to support their long-term health. Leave a comment below. Which of these 5 vegetables are you adding to your diet first? We read every single one. Take care of your health. See you in the next video.